Here at the Silverstone Museum, we are really proud to be able to house one of the most iconic British Formula One cars that was ever raced here at Silverstone. And that's this FW14B, the Williams that Nigel Mansell not only won the British Grand Prix here with, but also went on to win his only world title in 1992. There is so much I can tell you about this car, but for me, it's really special. I remember being here as a small child on the bank over at Copse Corner when Nigel Mansell won that British Grand Prix, and the entire crowd, swathes of people out onto the circuit to be under that podium to celebrate the win with Nigel Mansell and the other podium finishers, Riccardo Patrese and British driver Martin Brundle. This car though, when you look at it, the simplicity of the Adrian Newey design is lovely. That iconic red 5 at the front that Nigel Mansell carried for his world title and throughout most of his Formula One career. And most people knew this car as Red 5. It was really special for a very different reason though. These little bumps here hide what was called active suspension. And it meant the suspension could move up and down, raising the ride height of the car by fractions of a millimetre each time. So the car was at the optimal height to go round every corner. It would move many times during one lap, meaning the driver could be at that optimal point to get as much grip from the tyres and downforce from the front and rear wings. It was an incredibly clever system. And actually, you could almost claim that these cars were more technically sophisticated than the current Formula One cars that we run today in 2023. Looking inside the cockpit, wow. Simplistic steering wheel with the semi-automatic gearbox. Not all of the cars had semi-automatic gearboxes back in 1992. The thing that I always find slightly shocking, whilst you have the belts here, incredibly low sides. The driver's head and shoulders were exposed in these cars, and it wasn't until that awful incident in 1994 that involved Ayrton Senna, and then the second one with Roland Ratzenberger, where safety was changed to raise the height of these sides. But it did mean you got to see the drivers at work. Stunningly simple, the way in which the air flowed over the top of this car, the air intake, the side pods, and in that iconic red, blue, white and yellow colour scheme. It looks absolutely beautiful. And you can tell again, it's one of the British Grand Prix cars that we have the camel logo rather than the words of the cigarette company here, away round the advertising laws in the UK. This has to be one of my absolute favourite Formula One cars of all time. And when I talk to visitors here and they come and see the cars that we have here, this is always the #1 attraction that we have here at the Silverstone Museum.